Welcome everybody to another regular season game of the U Ottawa GG's men's rugby team. We are here at Matt Anthony Field, or the house that Chinner built, to see your U Ottawa GG's take on the reigning RSEQ champions, the Concordia Stingers. Here we see the Concordia Stingers taking the field. The captains are meeting in the middle. Mr. James Fleming for the U Ottawa GG's and Mr. Jackson Marcotte. Pardon my pronunciation for that, for the Concordia Stingers.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's 25 degrees, partly sunny here in Ottawa. We got a 24-kilometer westerly wind, and it feels like 25. Should be a beautiful day for rugby, if not a little bit on the warmer side when that sun comes out.
We have a little bit of wind on the field right now, but that's going to seem to be a non-issue for the players. I'm currently in the booth with my good friend and GG's alumni, illustrious GG's alumni, Mr. John Dent the Sixth.
Hey, how you doing, Colin? It feels good to be here.
Oh, it's good to have you back, Johnny, and it's another good day for rugby at Matt Anthony Field.
Team's looking young this year in their second season at RSEQ. They've made their rounds of the Scholars League circuit, but they finally got their stripes, and they're coming back with a vengeance this year. They're looking young, Colin.
Absolutely. And led another year by Miss Steph Crowley. The team is currently at a 1-0 record in RSEQ play. And now we will take a pause for the playing of our national anthem.
There's a song that never gets old, Colin.
Never will get old. And here we have the GGs and the Stingers taking the field. It appears the GGs are going to be receiving the kick. Concordia will be kicking off. So, John, what do the GGs need to do to be able to pull out a win in this game?
Well, this is going to be a really testing match, and it's going to show a lot for the rest of the season. We got the defending RSEQ champs, and we got a fairly new team on the RSEQ circuit trying to earn their stripes here. So I think they're really just going to have to prove themselves on the field today, be a lot stronger and a lot faster. Make sure that it's whoever makes the least mistakes out there.
Absolutely. And it's not going to be just a difficult game for the GGs. The Concordia Stingers are coming into a very hostile RSEQ stadium and environment. The University of Ottawa is known for having fans that are loud, that are rowdy, and let's hope they show up today to really show their boys their support.
All right, just about ready to get started here, Colin.
Here comes the kick. And the ball is up.
It's a high one right to the front row.
And the ball is caught by number 3, Jeff Radford. Now, fun fact for those who don't know, Mr. 3
and it's knocked forward.
Number 3, Jeff Radford. He actually spent a great deal of his time during his rugby career as a back, and they moved him to forward, specifically prop, this year.
And he steals it. Oh, we might have an offside on the play.
That was number 12, Will Redgate, a transfer player from McMaster University.
Here for law school. Joined the team last year.
Great addition to the team. Really provides a lot of veteran experience and leadership to the young guys.
Looks like they're going for touch. And it's staying in. And it's knocked forward.
It was knocked forward off of number 9, James Shaw.
Out into touch.
Stinger ball. Now, one area that the GGs have really improved this year was in their scrumming. While their pack might actually look smaller than Concordia's, and it definitely is, they make up for it in grit and tenacity and a lot of core strength, absolutely. Their scrumming should actually be one of their positives this afternoon. Not that one.
We'll try it again.
Not that one. Let's hope the next one.
First scrum of the game is always a test.
That it is.
All right, they're going to try at it again. Looks like it's staying up.
Good push by the GGs.
Won by the GGs.
Stole the ball. That's the 8-man, number 8, Sam Mace.
Going for a clear, and it's good.
And the GGs are up.
Concordia goes to return that. Defense is coming up.
And he pushes forward for another extra yards. Good clear. And the 9-man.
For that. 9 picks it and comes up. GG's a reset in the line.
And a crash line to the forwards. Good defensive play. And they spin it out. And it's going to the backs. Oh.
Pick that up.
Oh, good tackle by number 15.
Toff tries to go for the poach on wing.
Now, one area that the GGs have certainly improved on as well has been their defense.
Like they're coming off the line with good speed.
Good speed, and they're coming up as a team as well. Like everybody's taking that explosive first step as soon as the ball's cleared from the ruck. And the ball appears to be out of bounds.
Taken into touch by Concordia.
GG ball.
Seems to be an injury on the field.
And we'll have an injury timeout for Concordia.
In news for returning players this year, Conrad Vladik has decided to rejoin the GGs for Teachers College. He just couldn't resist. So now we have both Vladik brothers gracing the field with their presence. True Mario and Luigi of U Ottawa.
Not only that, but we also have a few returning players as well. James Fleming, currently playing wing right now. He's also back for Teachers College, as well as Brody Rodding, number 6. As a matter of fact, he's actually number 7. Sorry, number 5. I apologize. He's actually come back to do his second bachelor's degree at the University of Ottawa, this time in human kinetics.
He took last year off for a shoulder surgery, but it seems like he's coming back strong as ever this year.
He hasn't missed a beat, John. Hey, Brody's always been one of those really consistent guys, especially on defense. He's always up there. He always gets his nose dirty.
It's that jiu-jitsu background. The martial arts background really helps with in the trenches there.
And the GG's lost the ball off the line out, and it's going down the line. Oh, suicide pass. Almost caught by number 15, Jamie Armstrong.
And we have a knock forward, I believe, by Concordia. I could be wrong, but I believe it's going to be a scrum down.
We will have a scrum. And it is Concordia ball. Knock on by the GGs. Both packs line up. And the ball is in. And the ball is out.
Oh, we got a free ball.
Poor pass.
And
kick by number 10, Brad Murphy.
Seems to lose a little footing, slowing him down. But he's ready to pick that up. Oh, gives it another kick.
And Brad is there for the tackle as well. What a play.
He really cleaned that one up.
Well done for Brad.
There you have a guy who cleans up his messes as well as he makes them.
Absolutely. I couldn't have put it better myself, John. Now, as a matter of fact, Brad Murphy, you'll see that he has his hand taped up. He actually hurt one of the ligaments in his thumb earlier this week, and he hasn't skipped a beat in practice. He's actually been like playing through quite a bit of pain, but he's been taking care of himself. He's been icing, and he is ready to play here,
John. We got
John.
a battle here from the fullback.
Oh, and kicked right into his arms. That's not going to work. Oh, GGs are back 10. Oh, and forward pass from Concordia. What a turn of events. The GGs take great field position, and they lose it right away.
Messy play from both sides on that.
If the GGs are looking to...
Bad time for a restart.
If the GGs want to pull out a win, they're going to need to play better than that. They're going to need to take away all the mental mistakes. They're going to need to play almost a near-perfect game because these Concordia Stingers, they are the RSEQ champions for a reason. They've been the model of consistency in the RSEQ for many, many years, and we don't anticipate that they will go away anytime soon. The GGs are really going to need to gut up in order to win this game. And the ball is out. Spun out to James Fleming.
Keep it moving, boys.
And it's off to Top
free.
Patel on the wing,
Top
who's
slides
tripped up.
in.
Good clear on the ruck. Pass to Noah Tour.
Noah Tour grinds for that extra yard.
And back to the short side to James Fleming, who is met immediately by number 13 of Concordia.
Good rucking, good rucking. And Brody pulls it back in. He's fighting for that.
He's fighting for every extra yard.
Excellent rucking out there today.
This pass back to Will Redgate, who kicks it away. And it's over the head and eventually into the arms of the fullback, number 15.
He seems to try a counter here. And he throws it straight out of bounds. It's going to be a GG's ball. About at half.
Now it seems both teams came into this game a little bit nervous. Concordia has actually made a few misplays already, like poor ball handling errors. Expect them to clean it up in the second half, and expect the GGs to do the same.
We got Theo Espanol, originally of Clermont, Auvergne in France, at hooker throwing the ball. Oh, and they fake it up. And Conrad goes up, and he takes it.
And it's Brody who cleans up the mess, and it's Theo who's over top clearing it out.
Good speed on that, good reaction time.
It's off to Sam Mays, one of the better offensive runners on the GGs.
He is fighting for every inch out there.
It's a great cleanout by Jeff Radford and Noah Tour.
Fantastic.
And it's off to the backs. And it's Jamie Armstrong on the wing. And the ball is skipped across the ground, picked up eventually by Andrew Murphy, who fights for extra yards, cleaned out by Brody, and tossed out by James Shaw. And Jeff Radford, good gravy, what a hit. That's one of the benefits of having a good running back is now a forward. It's like that guy has a lot of power to him.
Jeff's crash really is something dangerous. It's something he was famous for when he was out in the backs, and it's something he's going to continue to do when he's crashing as a forward on those echoes there.
Absolutely. That guy has power. He has explosiveness. Look for Jeff Radford to make a lot of big plays today.
As long as he's dishing it more than he's receiving it, he looks a little dazed after that hit, Colin. Hopefully he comes back strong.
Dazed, maybe. Mad, absolutely.
Well, hopefully he can channel that.
And we're going for points. This is Nathaniel McGinnis.
Is that a rookie this year, Colin?
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, he's a rookie out of Worcester, England, in the UK.
That's a hard word to say there, isn't it, Colin?
It
Just like the sauce.
Absolutely.
Worcestershire. England. So we have another import this year, and he is kicking great.
He has been automatic this year.
That's the first points on the board for the GGs.
And the GGs take an early lead.
They're going to set to return.
And now Concordia is going to need to answer.
Hopefully that breaks the ice for the GGs, and they're right. They can ride that momentum into a try.
Absolutely. Seeing that big goose egg on
another high flyer into the front row.
And poorly handled by Theo. And now it's Concordia ball.
They put a lot of pressure on him.
That they did. Another passing error eventually picked up and tackled by James Fleming. And now we are back into open play.
Great work setting that defensive line, though.
Oh, fantastic. Fantastic tackle by Brody. You look like a linebacker out there. Concordia is being very aggressive in those rucks, clearing out. This is going to be a very gritty game from what we're seeing. Oh, looks like a very good tackle by Noah Tour. Fantastic. And another tackle by Sam Mace. One misstep there, and that Concordia runner would have been gone. Very good defensive play. Oh! And at Concordia, 8-man is upended.
Oh, nice, and they get him low.
They get him low after a fierce
The guys are going to
stiff-arm.
have to reset on that. I see holes. Move them out.
Absolutely. The GGs need to settle down on defense. They need to spread out. They need to recognize the space that they're giving up.
Good fight on both sides there.
But absolutely great fight. Apparently won by the GGs there. They're celebrating accordingly. It appears we're going to have another scrum. GG's ball this time.
Let's hope they can take that and clear the ball out of there. It's looking a little dangerous. Counting on Brad for a big kick down the field.
Or Will Redgate. Notice he's lined up almost right behind the scrum.
We have options. We have options.
The GGs do have many kicking options on their team. And the ball goes back to Will.
Redgate. And it's a big kick.
Big booming kick right out of bounds.
Yeah, we have a out of bounds. Nope, it's in. It's clear. The ref's not taking that.
Oh, good run by number 24.
And he hands it off to the prop, and it is.
And good job by the
interrupted.
GGs for attacking the ball. Very, very heads-up play. And we're going to have another scrum. GG's ball.
Jeff Radford looking good in that scrum. He shaved a lot of numbers off his jersey this year, but it's not stopping him.
Absolutely not. The guy hasn't missed a beat. And here's Sam Mace on
And
an
he
8-man
tosses
pick
it off to the
with
10.
a poor throw. Intercepted by the fly half, who scores a try. Concordia now has the lead in the game.
I believe their fly half is also from across the pond here. Import from.
Now, as a matter of fact, he is. Out of respect for this man, I will not try and pronounce his name, but he is actually from.
I'll give it a go. We got Stanislav Blakovsky, who's playing number 10 there. He's from Melun, France.
Thank you very much, John. That's where we like employing you in the booth.
I'm an international man, Bonzel. I try my best.
Right. We could all wish to learn a little something from Mr. John Dent here, a man who has had many, many years with the GG's rugby program, and who has had, who's played many games, won many awards, and has earned many friends on the team. A well-respected and a well-received member of the U Ottawa GGs.
You flattered me too much, Colin Bonzel.
And we go for the extra point attempt.
Looks like it's just over.
And it is wide right.
Too wide.
No good. It is now 5-3 Concordia.
GG's down by 2.
Concordia will set to receive the ball, and GG's are set to kick. Here comes Will Redgate for the kick. Now expect a big hit from one of the forwards off the kick.
Will Redgate sets it up. That's a nice high kick into the second row.
And they boost the
put
man.
someone up.
Perfect. And picked up by Noah Tour.
Noah Tour. Great field awareness. Saw that ball floating. And Sam Mace cleans it up. Hard runner. And we got Toff over it. Perfect timing.
And
Andrew Murphy. Nice solid effort.
And
at
James
the B gap just to reset it. And it's coming out.
And another kick by Will Redgate.
A boot.
Immediately out of bounds. Will be a line out. Stingers. Now, John, the GGs have been kicking a lot today. Is that part of their offensive plan? Do you think that will continue to be an offensive weapon that they will continue to use? Or is this more of like an opportunistic thing? Do you think Will Redgate sees something in the defense? Or is this a coaching choice?
I think Will Redgate's trying to read the field, and he's testing them by putting that ball in the air, and sometimes it's working, and when it works, you can do that. It's a very beautiful day out here today, so it's no shame in putting that ball up when you think it needs to go. You can cover a lot of ground that way, Bonzo.
Absolutely. And the wind continues to be a non-factor. It still is a little bit breezy, but it does not seem to affect the ball. It does not seem to affect the players. And as a matter of fact, the sun has come out, and it's become a little bit warmer. And it's a very nice day to play rugby. In fact, I wish I was out on the field right now. But I'm happy to be with you audiences back at home. And we have a line out for the GGs.
And they go all the way back, and it is good.
Good by Brody Rotting. And back to Brad Murphy.
A little juggling at the 9 position there. We need to get more solid balls off the top into James's hands. Save some time off that line out.
Oh, that was a very good stiff arm by the Concordia runner.
And blown out. Looking a little shallow for Concordia, but they found the overlap.
Absolutely.
And the GGs clean it up.
What they lack in depth, they make up for in field awareness. They saw the space, and they definitely took advantage of it.
Get around those legs, boys.
And tackle by Brody, who's always sure for a good tackle. And another tackle by Jeff Radford. Fantastic. And the Concordia runner, he just keeps rolling. Oh, ball kicked and caught by Jamie Armstrong.
And
kicked right back in retaliation. Line out GGs.
Another GG's line out. Theo Espanol with the ball. And it's going all the way to the back again, and it's overshot. No one's there to clean it up.
And
That's a risky play on the line out.
Picked up by the Concordia flanker and cleared out of the ruck. Very nice looking ruck there.
Oh.
A forward pass, almost intercepted. And
Sam
back
Mace,
to
good reaction, sending it back there.
Back to Jamie Armstrong, who kicks it away, and he's up there. And, he misses the tackle. Tackle eventually made by Theo. So the forwards in these Concordia Stingers are very, very good runners. Very aware of their space.
Someone needs to get around that guy's ankles. Nope, and it is a try is good.
Try scored by Concordia's number 6, Zach Pelletier.
GGs didn't have enough time to reset their defense. They kept running through them, found the holes, took advantage of them.
To give a little bit of credit to Concordia, their forwards are very, very good at exploiting space and running after contact. As a matter of fact, very few of those forwards have actually been tackled behind the gain line. The GGs need to do a better job of shooting up like once the ball is out of the ruck and meeting these big men before they can actually break stride.
That's a great observation, Bonds. I agree with that assessment.
Now we're set for another kick.
You just got to get some water in them, refocus. Hopefully that fitness level's high enough to keep at it.
I doubt that fitness is going to be very big of an issue for the GGs. One of the big goals by head coach Steph Crawley this year has been to improve fitness. As a matter of fact, in basically every practice, there's always some sort of fitness drill.
I believe that. That's the Coach Carter method. You know, you got to keep everyone fit. If you can't breathe, then you can't play.
Absolutely, especially in a game like rugby where you're constantly running, tackling, sprinting.
It's very demanding.
Very demanding on the body. You need to be in your top physical condition in order to play. I think the GGs have achieved that this year.
And a nice big one, deep.
It's like ball is caught clean.
And it's a nice tackle by Noah Tour. Flanker on his 3rd season with the GGs.
Good tackle behind the gain line for the GGs. And the ball is off to the backs. A lot of space for the winger.
Open space. And he touches the
just
ankle,
out of the grasp
of
Jamie Armstrong. And here comes James Fleming, who gets a grab on the jersey.
Slows him down, and
eventually caught by Brody Rotting. The GGs need to hurry back on defense.
Brody is the serious predator out there. He's got great tackling skills and a lot of speed. Truly a last line of defense player.
Absolutely. Very quiet young man, but his intensity is second to none on the team.
His actions speak louder than words, Bonds. I agree.
Absolutely. Great addition to the team. We're very happy he's back. Oh, and we have another injury on the field. This appears to be for the GGs, number 15, Jamie Armstrong. Another young guy on the team, certainly has a very bright future. He's fast, he's shifty, and he's very smart on the field.
Looks like they're taking some time off to deal with this.
Right, as they tend to Mr. Armstrong, both teams will get a little bit of water and get a little bit of breathing room so they can regroup, refocus. For the GGs to stop the Concordia Stingers on their offensive onslaught, and for Concordia to just punch it in.
We'll take this pause to go into our What Are Our Alumni Doing segment of the day. So you may have recognized the name Arya Kashufi, and he is currently doing his master's degree at the University of Guelph and on the starting lineup as the fly half for the Griffins. We miss Arya here in Ottawa, but he has a bright career ahead of him down in Guelph.
Absolutely. One of the best alumni we can think of. He was a great teammate, a great player.
Truly instrumental in building the foundations of this program.
Absolutely. He was imperative to the success of the GG's football or the GG's rugby program.
We wish him the best of luck out there at Guelph.
And if he's watching,
they had a great stand last year.
Absolutely. And if he's watching right now, Arya, we love you. Come by and visit sometime. Now, another GG that we haven't talked about very much this segment is Chris Thomas. John, what is Chris Thomas doing these days?
Chris Thomas has been accepted a job with the Toronto Police Service. So he's joining the Boys in Blue eventually. I think he's just getting through the academy right now. We do miss him out here. He was a great member of the coaching staff and another foundational contributor to the GG's success and their graduation to RSEQ and total.
Absolutely.
He's another man we miss out here in Ottawa, but we know he's going to be doing big things in Toronto.
So he's off chasing his dreams. He's doing what he's always wanted to do, and we wish Chris the very best.
And now we're back in the game.
So GG's won the lineout, and they appear to have lost the ball in contact. The Concordia Stingers have it again, and they're knocking on the door.
They're going to need to reset and get some good goal line defense. They're looking a little bunched up.
They're very bunched up around the ruck. They need to pull a little bit to their right.
We see some holes here on Concordia's left side, if they can take advantage of that. Oh, and it looks like the ball has turned around.
Oh, fantastic.
GG's possession.
Fantastic determination by the GGs just to get that ball back. And Will Redgate clears it right out of bounds.
Goes for the safe kick, straight out of bounds. We're calling it over by the GG's tent over there.
And we'll take a break and play for the Concordia Stingers to set up their line out and for the GGs to respond. Now, the GGs played incredibly well in the very first part of the game on defense, but they appear to have a little bit of air let out of their tires. John, what do you think they can do from this point on, and especially in the second half of the game, to help solidify their defense?
I think the forwards really need to do some textbook stuff in the trenches there, really just suck the defense in, and then a few successful passes out wide to the backs, and I think we can get ourselves a try. We got a lot of strong players out there. We got James Fleming on the wing. We can really pull it together here.
Absolutely. And as a matter of fact, the GGs have just won that line out. And the ball is held up. And it's going to be a scrum for Concordia.
Yeah, I think if we can get some smooth movement between that 9-10 channel and get it all the way out to the wing, they can take advantage of it.
Absolutely.
They're a fast, young, athletic team, and I think if they can get some distance behind them, they can score a try.
Absolutely. And as much as we've been harping on the GG's defense, as long as they have the ball in their hands, like their offense is almost up there with the very best in the RSEQ. Like a very dynamic offense, very good athletes. So the best defense, I think, is a good offense. They need to poach the ball a little bit more. And as long as they have the ball in their hands, victory is certainly within grasp. And that's the 9 takes it right off the scrum and is tackled by number 9, James Shaw. Good clear-outs in the ruck by the Concordia Stingers. And the ball is dropped by Concordia, and it's going to be a scrum for the GGs.
Seeing great composure from the GGs, seeing a little frustration from Concordia.
And the crowd is becoming a little more active here at the Matt Anthony Field. Let's hope their energy can help to encourage the boys to play a little bit.
I'm seeing a lot of great composure, a lot of great discipline from the GG boys this year. I think they've really reined in the behavior and the attitudes, and I think that's gonna pay dividends for them later on in the season.
Absolutely. And I think that also pays homage to the fact that the team has become more cohesive together. They've begun to gel a little bit more, and the frustrations that they may have had in years past is slowly coming to an end as guys begin to trust each other a little bit more. They understand everybody's strengths and everybody's limitations, and they're beginning to work more cohesively as a team. And
all right, great tackle by Toph.
Tackle
That's
by
fantastic.
number 14, Toph Patel. Fantastic.
He really shut that down.
Well done. What a tackle.
Truly showing us it's not about size, it's about technique.
So take that as a lesson for you kids at home. No matter what size you are, say as long as you put in the work and as long as you know what you're doing.
Toph has certainly been eating his Wheaties.
Yes, he has.
Strong.
And now we have a substitution. Number 3, Jeff Radford, is coming off the field for number 17, Connor Williams.
A well-deserved break for Jeff.
Well-deserved break for Jeff, and a big opportunity for Connor. As a matter of fact, he was actually part of the GG's football team, and he decided to make the transition over to rugby, and he has been a very welcome addition to the team. Very nice young man, always willing to practice, always willing to learn. And
that was a good 9-10.
Very
good.
If
we can move that out.
And we push it to James Fleming.
He gets a leg.
Oh, James, fantastic offensive playmaker.
Good run.
Put the ball in his hands, and he can take the ball the distance almost every time he takes it.
Nice grab by Brody.
After it was coughed up by Conrad Hladik. Ooh, ball is stolen by Concordia.
We had some guys playing on the ground there.
And the ref calls the play.
That was a messy ruck.
That it was. And it is Concordia scrum.
James Fleming is flagging for a substitution.
It appears to be a shoulder issue.
I might try and tough it out.
I think he's going to. James is a competitor, always has been.
If you're wondering why he's taking a knee, it's to tie his shoe. But he still is hurt.
But don't expect that to slow down his game. Just one second. And the ball is in. Good push by Concordia and pulled by the 8-man immediately.
Now they're 12, takes a tumble. Will Redgate slows him down.
And off to the 10, who finds space, beats Brad Murphy, and scores the try. No, first he's going to celebrate with his teammates in the end zone. Eventually puts it down.
We're going to start to see the Stingers pull away here just before halftime.
And speaking of Stingers, we actually have another injury on the field. This appears to be number 7, Noah Tour. Also appearing to be a shoulder issue.
I mean, where should I really even start?
That's going to hurt the GGs. Noah Tour's really a strong player.
Absolutely. He's come on as certainly a leader for the GGs. Like he's taking a lot of really good reps in practice. Like he's showing the younger guys how to play and how to play better.
He's always been a grinder, real hard worker of a kid.
That's going to be a hard loss for the GGs. So let's hope they can rally behind it.
You see Isaac Brown coming on the field, or am I incorrect?
No, that is Isaac Brown. He should be taking over for Noah Tour.
That's a good substitution. Isaac's a hard hitter. I think he's gonna add a lot of good with things to the field right now.
Absolutely. Now Noah Tour is very fast on the field, but so is Isaac. Let's see how the GGs respond on this kick. Expect them to come down, make a big hit, and really be aggressive to get that ball back.
Will does another medium depth to the second row there. And Isaac comes out with fresh legs, really add into the field. It's a lot of energy. He's a feisty one.
Almost grabbed the ball. Concordia maintains possession. Some creative offensive ball passing. Unfortunately, it appeared to be a little bit forward, and it is now a scrum for the GGs.
Just a little bit, eh, Colin?
Just a little bit. Now it's good to see the GGs back in Concordia territory.
Looks like the sun's gone away for a little bit. Hopefully that gives some solace to the hot boys out there running.
Cool down the turf, no doubt. Now, the GGs haven't spent very much time in the Concordia side of the field in the latter half of the first half.
Well, hopefully they make an opportunity of this. They got their ball down here. Hopefully they can make something work.
Absolutely. Expect them to make a big push.
I'm seeing a big blind side opening if this scrum doesn't collapse.
The scrum has collapsed, and that's a penalty on the GGs. They'll be going back 10, and it's Concordia ball.
That's disappointed. Wasted opportunity in the other half.
Unfortunate, but for Concordia, this is exactly what they were looking for. They're looking to close out the first half in a very commanding way. And the ball is kicked. And the ball is kicked right into the stands. Concordia lineout.
We got 4 in. Nice.
That was an interesting play by the Concordia Stingers, where they have their first jumper actually jump out of the line to have their second jumper just move up and jump instead.
See a lot of hands on the ground there.
And Concordia ball again.
Referee is turning a blind eye.
Another big run by Concordia's number 12. He's very good at exploiting space. And a long pass out to the wing and tackled again by number 15, Jamie Armstrong. Number 12 again. Big runner, met right at the gain line by the GGs. Good group tackle. Now, big overlap for the Concordia Stingers. Poorly handled ball, picked up by Isaac Brown.
And we're just going to try and slow this game down here.
And penalty on the Stingers, GG's ball. Now, with only 3.5 minutes left in the first half, what do you think the GGs are going to be doing here? Do you think they'd want to keep the ball in play, or are they going to go for touch here?
Well, I think there's enough time left for them going to touch. So they're probably going to try and get some territory and then make one final push.
Of course, the question I asked was already partially answered when the ball was put in the hands of Mr. Will Redgate, who is predominantly a
Looks like number
kicker of
15
touch.
is just finding space.
Oh. Ball recycled by the Concordia Stingers and mishandled by their outside center, number 13. Scrum GG's. Now we have 2.5 minutes left to play. The GGs are really going to need to hustle in order to put some more points up before the halftime. As for Concordia, just ball possession and maintaining possession of the ball, possibly kicking it out of bounds to end the half. And they'll go into the locker room with a sizable lead of 14 points.
Let's hope that GG's fitness and composure will help them in the second half. They can try and pull away here. Let's move it down.
And the
He
ball
finds
has moved
space.
very well.
He finds some space.
And eventually, Nathaniel McGinnis is tackled. The ball
Isaac
reverses
Brown.
directions, back to Isaac Brown.
Some fresh legs. Good clear out.
Good clear up by Conrad.
Into the forward's hands. Brody grinding his way.
Good yards after the after initial contact.
And we're going to kick it. But he is way too fast off the line, and he gets one off.
Good kick by Will Redgate. Let's see how Concordia sets up their attack going backwards.
And there's an overlap here.
They find their space on the left-hand side of the field. The 8-man cuts it back inside, passes it to number 11, who mishandles the ball, jumped on by the GGs.
We're going to play that first knock on by the Concordia Stingers. It's going to be a GG's. Scrum down.
1 minute left in the first half.
According to the wall clock, ref might have more time. There's a couple stoppages.
The ball is out. And the ball was hit out of James Shaw's hands and bounces into James Fleming's hands. So he runs up to the right and promptly tackled by the Concordia Stingers. Ref calls the whistle. Penalty on Concordia. GG's ball.
A lot of speed on the Stingers flanker, Elliot Gusanu from Abidjan, Ivory Coast. A lot of speed.
Absolutely.
And here it is, coming towards the 10.
And bounces off the tent and right into the crowd. We will have one final lineup for the GGs. We will have a 5-man line thrown in by Theo.
Nice grab by Conrad Hladek.
Great throw, great catch. And off to Sam Mace.
We got a lot of speed coming into that.
Good support, good ruck. And off to the backs for the GGs. Oh, there's Connor Williams showing that big men can move too. Keep your feet moving, baby.
That's a nice run.
Well done by Connor Williams coming in support of Jeff Radford. And poorly handled by James Shaw. That's unfortunate.
You got to secure those balls on the ground there. Help your scrum half out.
And we're going to have a scrum for Concordia.
Seems like James Fleming's shoulder has slightly recovered since we last saw him.
Or his composure has improved as well. Either way, James is still going to be...
We'll see what the decision is at halftime, whether he sticks around on the field.
I believe he will.
I think so too.
So he wants to be out there. His teammates want him out there. The coach wants him out there. I think as long as he's physically able to play, he will play. And the ball is out. And back to number 12 for Concordia.
Good hands on his legs.
Right, good tackle by Nat McGinnis. And good tackle by James Shaw. And the ball is hit by Brad Murphy as the scrum half tries to knock it out of the scrum.
Oh, we're going to try and get him down.
Fantastic. GGs are playing
him back.
GGs are playing very stout defense here.
Overshoots
and overshot by Nat McGinnis, and the Concordia Stingers come running. Good tackle by Top Patel, who tries to steal the ball as well. But that's a reach-in foul, and it's going to be Concordia ball. GG's back 10. Concordia set to find touch.
And it stays in bounds. They're going to have to return that.
Takes an awkward bounce and off the hands of Top Patel.
And he knocks it on back there. That is exactly what Concordia hoped for.
That is exactly what the GGs did not need at this moment. With only seconds left on the clock, the last thing they would want is for points to be put up by Concordia based on mistakes that they've made.
They got the bigger scrum at Concordia, and they're about 5 meters out. We'll see if they just drive this in or if they try something clever. But I'm not sure if the GGs can defend against this late in the game. Oh, they're keeping it in. They're keeping it in. They seem to be trying to drive it. And it's out. They need to reset now.
GG's is set up very close to the scrum.
And that is a try.
Very unfortunate for the GGs to give up points that close to the half. But a great opportunity and a great execution by the Concordia Stingers on offense.
Putting the numbers on the board, we have their prop, number 3, Steven Martinez.
Now, what do you think the GGs are talking about back there in their end zone, John? What are their...
I think they're probably trying to refocus and figure out what their next half's going to be like. They got to put a lot of points up on the board, and they'll have about 40 minutes to do so. So I think they're trying to recenter, refocus, figure out what their plan is.
Absolutely. They're certainly playing an uphill battle coming into the second half here. They're behind by a sizable margin. And an even more sizable margin with that made kick. And that's going to be half. A tough game fought by the GGs, but mistakes, poor ball handling.
And that's a half. We're going to be back in about 10 minutes to restart this game. The GGs heading back to the locker room, going to try and figure out what the next steps are going to be.
Halftime score, 24-3 for the Concordia Stingers. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back. And welcome back to the second half of the U Ottawa GG's rugby game against the Concordia Stingers.
GG's will be kicking off and the Concordia Stingers returning.
Will Redgate with the kick. It's up. Clean catch. Big hit by Jeff Radford with the top of his head. That has to hurt.
All right, coming out of the gate strong, Concordia. This is a seasoned team. They're really coming out really hard.
Well coached.
Let's hope the GGs can respond.
Absolutely. Well coached, well disciplined. There's a reason that Concordia has been at the top of the RSEQ rankings for as long as they have. And we have our first penalty of the match against the GGs. Concordia ball.
Wind's starting to pick up here. Going to be a little bit more difficult with the boots. They're choosing to kick with it. And it's a big one.
And just out of the reach of
Amal, I believe.
Yes, that is Imal Nabizada on the wing.
Testing his mettle. He's a new player on the pitch today. Concordia is really trying to get a feel for what the back three is looking like, whether it's going to be a kicking half or not.
Absolutely, especially with the substitutions that were made at halftime. Like Concordia is just going to try and figure out the abilities of everybody in the pack, in the backs. They're just going to test everybody as much as possible just to see what they can get out of it. And we have another break in play. And it's going to be a lineup for the GGs.
Let's hope they can use it.
The GG's lineouts are always very good, especially with the Duncan Hladek out there. He's boosting his older brother, Conrad, and the ball is clean and out to the backs. One skip to Isaac Brown.
And he gets double teamed.
Met by two
really
defenders and driven back. Very good defense by Concordia, but that's not what you want to see from the GGs.
Back into Will's hands, and it's another shallow kick straight out of bounds. Gets the job done, maybe less than ideal.
And slows the game down a significant amount by kicking it right over the fence.
I don't know if slow's what we're looking for right now, Bonsall. I think we need to really get some movement, try and get down the field.
Absolutely. You want to see the urgency in the GGs. They're behind by a significant number of scores, and they need the ball in their hands. They need a quick game. They need to use the clock as much as possible.
You're absolutely right, Bonsall. They got 40 minutes to put a lot of points on the board. So this won't be a leisurely half for them if they expect to win.
Absolutely not. Concordia has come out hitting. Their defense has been very stout in these first couple minutes. And as a matter of fact, they've actually poached the ball from the GGs. And they now have the scrum. This is not the start that the GGs would have wanted for their second half. But let's hope they can shore it up shortly.
We got Noah Tour in a sling on the sideline. That's bad news.
That's something you don't want to see. Noah Tour is a leader on the team. He's one of the fastest guys on the team.
One of the hardest working members out there. And it's not good. It's not good to see his arm wrapped up like that. So we're going to have to get the report on what's happened to him and whether or not we're looking at seeing him out next game.
Absolutely. But whoever's in for Noah has to respond to him being out. There's going to be a lack of leadership.
I believe Isaac Brown was the replacement.
Absolutely.
Number 23 sitting there at flank, getting ready to set up on the scrum as we speak.
Physicality, check. Presence in the scrum, check.
He's another traditional back who seems to have moved to the forward pack. Very aggressive. It's going to be a good spot for him, I think.
Absolutely. I think that's his long-time position.
And they're driving back that scrum. Concordia is coming out as strong as ever. They must have some of Mike's secret stuff in that locker room.
I'm sure they do. Concordia coming out like a shot. It's like a lot of good offensive possessions. And lots of yards after contact from Concordia. These guys know how to go into contact and keep chucking their feet.
They absolutely do. And he finds some space and puts points on the board almost effortlessly.
2 poor tackles by the GGs. And just like that, Concordia's up with 5 minutes already taken out of the second half. That's not the start you wanted to see for the GGs. And you can already see the frustration setting in.
Concordia looking calm and composed. They've been here before, Colin, I think, and they know how to close the game out.
They certainly do. They know how to play with the lead, and they know how to maintain a lead. Let's hope the GG's desire to get back into this game is stronger than that of Concordia to just coast. Wind's becoming more of a factor here.
It's drifting in and out, Bonds, but definitely coming strongly when it does.
And we have a lull in the wind at the moment, just in time for the kick.
And as if commanded by God himself, that wind dies down right in time for the kick.
Beautiful kick by number 15, Aiden McMullen of the Concordia Stingers.
We're going to need to see some aggression on this kickoff here. Try and get some good defense, hopefully return the possession.
Absolutely.
I don't like to see a defeated GGs. I want to see some chins up out there. I want to see some strong defense.
Absolutely. Expect everybody to come up like in a straight line. Everybody's going to be ready to lay the hit. And Isaac Brown is the first one down there, and he picks up the ball as it drops to the ground.
A velociraptor.
That's
truly a lot of energy.
That's
Great
a perfect
predator.
description for Isaac Brown there, John. The guy is just always where he needs to be. He's fast, he's aggressive, and he's angry. And just like that, Concordia has the ball back, and now they're driving on offense. Eventually taken to the ground by Nat McGinnis.
And he throws it into open air.
Picked up by James Fleming. And
James Fleming is stuck in a box, but he's fighting through.
Look at that. Corralled by many, many Concordia defenders. Eventually keeps the ball in his hand and goes to the ground. Andrew Murphy by himself.
Andrew
chugging,
Murphy digging.
He's Let's go.
Digging deep for this. And he manages
Beautiful
to get
run
the ball
by Andrew
placed.
Murphy. And off to Will Redgate.
This is the energy we were looking for.
Fantastic. Another great run by Brody Rotting. Ball is back to Will Redgate, who is corralled and taken to the ground by
They
two
need to
Concordia
get some
defenders.
more depth. They're getting shallower and shallower with every play. They need to reset and rethink what they're going to do. And possession changes. Seems to be ripped out of the maul.
It's almost like the energy is being drained out of the GGs the longer they're on offense. Like they have less depth, they have less energy, and eventually their hand strength just gives way to that of Concordia. But the ball was just ripped right out of their hands.
The defense is looking all right. They're very flat, but I'm afraid it's bleeding into their offense, and they're too flat on offense. They need to start resetting even when the plays continue and continue.
Exactly. And even a great spark on defense like we just had with Jeff Radford laying the hit and Isaac Brown picking up the ball. They lost possession
They're
again.
putting a lot of pressure on the Stingers, and they offload it to Elliot Gusanu, who goes down.
GGs are just walking on defense. That's not something you want to see, especially with 30 minutes left in the second half.
And they're going to try and clear it, uncontested. He had a lot of open space there.
And it goes back to number 14,
Toph.
Toph Patel.
This is where he's strongest in open space.
Absolutely. The guy's
Truly a
lightning in a
sevens
bottle.
player.
Speaking of sevens players, there's James Fleming. Back to Toph Patel. Back to Will Redgate, who kicks it right out of bounds.
Will really has to use his troops out there. He's kind of kicking a lot more than is necessary, I believe. It would have been good to reset it, try and get the boys back in. So now we have a Concordia lineout just past half.
That's right. Now, as much as I like Will just kicking the ball out of bounds or like really testing the back three of Concordia, I don't know if that's the time to do so right now.
I think it's going to be a meat and potatoes game for the GGs if they hope to come back.
Absolutely. Oh, ball is overthrown, picked up by Brody Rotting.
And Brody's gotten double teamed, but
Good
he's still
heads-up
fighting.
play. Good
And
heads-up
Theo's
play
right
by Brody.
over him.
And great heads-up play by Conrad.
Oh,
And Jeff Radford with the run. Pass it to Ahmed Idali.
We're going to take that placement. We're going to check on the ref's call, and that is good.
And it is a try for the GGs.
Jeff Radford, hungry for it, doing well out there.
And finished by Ahmed Idali.
Incredible. We got some points on the board, ladies and gentlemen.
And the GGs, just like that, are right back into it.
It's going to be a tough kick for our number 13 here. He's got incredible skill, though, so anything's possible on this. Wind has died down, so it's all going to be in the boot.
There, Nat McGuinness for the kick. And what an excellent kick. Nat McGuinness, number 13. A good lad from the United Kingdom. Come over to Canada and just slinging it for the University of Ottawa.
Big Daddy Ratty coming back hard in the second half.
That guy's ready to play. So look for Jeff Radford to be the emotional core of the forwards in this game. Look for the forwards to rally behind Jeff Radford and his intensity for the rest of this game. As long as he plays
with that. Ahmed Idali, true environmentalist, cleaning up the field.
Because even though you are part of a rugby team, you're part of the planet too. So you do your part. Concordia set to kick.
Oh, a little premature on the run up.
Good high kick. And it's going right back to Idali.
And he tries to dance his way out, but it's not possible.
And the ball is kicked out and back into the hands of Concordia. Exactly what the GGs were hoping to avoid.
You really got to control your feet in those situations. When you nervously kick, you never know where the ball's going to go.
Exactly.
You got to be very sure of yourself for that to be a strong strategy.
Exactly. You have to be aware of your surroundings. Everybody else has to be aware of what you're trying to do. Other than that, it's a much safer bet just to go down to the ground, make sure that the ball is cleared out in the ruck, and just keep the ball to recycle. So as long as you maintain possession, then you have the best chance to score points.
Amen to that, Colin.
We have GG's scrum right now. The ball is in. Good push by the Stingers. And picked up by Sam Mace, number 8. And we're going to have a pick and go because James Shaw, the scrum half, is in the scrum. Taken by Jeff Radford. And immediately thrown back to Will Redgate, who clears the ball out. Kicking the ball right out of bounds. Oh, and the Concordia Stingers elect to just throw it back in, and they're off to the races.
Will is truly gambling with those kicks. I presume we're going to see another one if he stays on his feet.
Oh, he did a good job right until the end. There was a good shoelace tackle by number 13 of Concordia. And the ball is back to Isaac Brown, who keeps it in bounds this time.
And Idali is contesting, but he only got one arm on there.
He was in a good spot to make a play. Unfortunately, he couldn't complete the tackle. Nat McGuinness was there to clean up his mess a couple yards back.
Oh, and he finds some space in the C gap, number 3.
And we have a large overlap to the left-hand side of the field for Concordia.
Not a whole lot of depth, but they might not need it.
Oh! And a questionable play by Jeff Radford. And a penalty against Concordia right at the goal line. GG's get possession back with only yards left before a try could have been scored.
Looks like the touch judge is informing the referee of the questionable behavior by our number 3, Jeff Radford here. We'll see if it sways him to make a call.
Oh, and it has. The GG's forfeit possession and are penalized for it. And it will be the Concordia ball.
That's the difference playing at this level. When you have dedicated touch judges, things don't fly under the radar as much.
No, so everybody has to be very heads up as to what they can and can't do on the field.
Number 10 from Concordia takes a simple kick for touch. They're going to try and secure the line out here, very close to the try zone.
Which what appears to be about 10 yards out.
We'll see how many guys they commit to this.
They're committing 6 players to the lineup.
And
expect
they're
a maul
trying
here.
to maul it in. And GG seem to be fighting back. Good force,
Oh.
and it's moved out. Number 7, Elliot Gusanu, down on the ground.
And the ball is out. Taken by number 3 of Concordia.
They got to reset. GG's have to reset. Sam Mace's foot is stuck in the ruck. We have a guy, and he's coming back to it.
And Sam Mace with a little extracurricular activities going on after the play. It appears to be a knock-on, and it will be a scrum for Concordia.
The GGs really need to find their equilibrium out there. Strong defense, strong offense. They need to start performing.
Oh, and that scrum has turned into a penalty against Concordia. GG's will take over. Will Redgate has the ball in his hands. Expect him to find touch. And he kicks it clean out of bounds right behind the Concordia bench. Now the GGs appear to be fighting themselves in the second half. They appear to be angry. They appear to be playing with a little bit more, I wouldn't say grit, but I would say a little bit more aggression. And not in a good sense.
I feel like there's a sense of urgency coming out of the locker room second half, down by 20 points almost. Oh, more than 20 points back then. But there's a sense of urgency, and you only have so much time to put points on the board. And Sam Mace breaks through.
What?
And he's taking the hits, turns around, and he's slowed down just enough for someone to clean him up.
Sam Mays.
And we have people
spectacular,
not where they need to be.
A spectacular run by Sam Mace. And as the ball was looking to be cleared out of the ruck, it was hit against another GG's player who's not paying attention. Knock on Concordia ball.
This comes back to what I was saying earlier, Colin. It's they need to focus on the meat and potatoes. They need to slow things down, and they need to really focus on what they've been practicing.
Absolutely. And the GGs, as far as I'm concerned right now, they're their own worst enemy. You've seen a couple extracurricular activities, some that are called, some that are not, that are a little bit questionable, dare I say. The last thing the GGs need is a yellow card at this very moment. They need all their guys on the same page right now. They need to calm down, and they need to just play the game. Don't get angry. Just, focus. Take all that energy and just reaffirm it in the game.
That's right. Good looking scrum here. GGs are looking strong, and it just gets too big.
And the ball is out and tossed outside.
Nice.
Number 15
Sam
is
Mace
taken to the ground by
Conrad
Sam Mace.
Haddock stood up.
And it looks like we have a scrum for the GGs now.
GG scrum. James Lemon playing games out there.
And we have another substitution going on the field. This is Duncan Laddick coming in for number 4, Jacob Harries.
Got the Laddick brothers together again.
That's right. Now Duncan, one of the tallest members of the GT's rugby team, is fantastic in scrums. Like this is his
Taller
bread
than
and
his
butter.
brother even, I believe.
Taller than his brother, and the middle of all the three Laddick siblings. All very good at rugby. And there's Sam Mace with the ball again. A couple of yards after contact there. And recycled. And Brad Murphy is met right behind the gain line and pushed over by his supporting cast. Good job.
Good, they're slowing it down. Hopefully they didn't slow it down too much. There's too much dancing out there.
Now McGinnis with a stutter step. And James Shaw takes it himself. And Brody and Theo are over top to take care of it.
We got the alligator roll off the top by Brody, clearing it out.
And Sam Mace is taking the pick and go.
They're on top
Takes
of
a
each
couple
other.
yards.
They're tired, but they need to reset. It's the only way they're going to get more yards down the field.
Oh, now McGinnis takes it up the right-hand side of the field.
We got a big pack of forwards in the middle of the field. They need to pick that up.
Just sort of congealing in the middle.
And we got Conrad.
And here we have a new rookie on the team, Connor Billow, or Bills as he's affectionately called. Young rookie, always
we need
willing
some
to
depth
learn.
out there, guys. This is not looking good.
James Fleming with a stiff arm and about 4 yards after contact. That's fantastic. Well done, James. Here we go, Brad Murphy, corralled and keeps pushing. Strong young lad.
That tight five needs to line up a little deeper and get some more speed off those if they hope to break the line.
Oh, we have James Shaw, number 9, is laying down, taking a breather. And the GGs are lined up. Will Redgate looking to kick the ball out of bounds, finding touch. A good kick. They're going to get favorable field position here, within 15 yards of the try zone.
GGs are going to try and close the gap now.
With slightly less than 20 minutes left in the half, the GGs need to light a fire.
Looks like we got a new arm on the lineouts. Theo is cleaning up at the end.
That's
Number
right.
16, Connor Billow.
And Bills with the throw.
Brody's there to clean it up. And then hopefully we can poach this. And they're collapsing it. Shutting that down. Ooh, and a tight grab.
Good job. Good job by the Concordia runner to find space. There were a lot of GG's defenders spread up right beside the ruck, but a couple yards away, that's where they have daylight. And now they're bringing it up the left-hand side on the wing, eventually tackled a few yards away from midfield.
Concordia appears scattered in the offense. Shallow, and right into their 10. And they offload it.
And they find space on the right-hand side.
And he offloads it there. Manages to get it off one more time, and another. Great offloads by Concordia.
Fantastic, especially after they've gone into contact. They're able to find a guy like right away in support. Oh, and the 8-man finds a good running lane, and he's off to the races. That's going to be another try for Concordia.
Right down center. Easy kick.
The GGs are looking a little defeated. But the game is still
We're seeing some
far
good
from
plays. We're seeing some good plays this half, but Concordia is a seasoned team, and they're showing that right now.
over. Exactly. And the tale of the game has been consistency. Concordia consistently is playing like very stout defense, and their offense is always set up in a very systematic way. The GGs are sort of
They're relying on some superstars right now when they need to really gel as a team and get their mashed potatoes down.
absolutely. They need to go back to the bare basics, like their offensive schemes, their defensive formations. They seem to be straying away from that a little bit. And the kick is good from number 15, Aiden McMullen of Concordia. And we now have a 38-10 lead for Concordia.
The GGs are going to have to remember their training going into this. And he goes for a quick run, picks it up 10 yards out. Will Redgate.
What a very heads-up play by Will Redgate. Not even his own team was paying attention to that.
You know, that's the problem, though. You can be clever, but you guys have to be on the same page.
Exactly. When he picked up that ball, which was after it was kicked 10 yards, he had nobody around him. He had nobody to offload to.
I won't shut it down so quick because we still have possession, but it definitely was a high-risk, high-reward play.
I think it worked out in this circumstance, John. But I don't know if they would do that again.
I wouldn't bet money on it, Colin.
And the ball is out of bounds. And that looks like it's GG's lineout. The GGs maintain possession well into Concordia territory.
Will getting some confused looks from his own players.
He's a
gambling man, definitely.
He is. The guy likes to take control of a game. You can't fault somebody for that, trying to spark a little bit of inspiration in an offense.
And it goes over right into Theo's hands.
Theo, a good ball runner in his own right.
If you got that shoulder just a little bit lower, he could have done some damage.
James Shaw is in the ruck, and now it's going to be taken off the left-hand side
by
by Brody
Roding.
Roding.
A pick and go. Brody's trying to keep possession there.
He did maintain possession with Concordia trying to pick his pockets.
All right.
Back to Will Redgate, who
Will Redgate juggles it out into Isaac's hands there.
Isaac maintains possession.
They lost some yards on that. We're going to need a reset from the forwards to try and get this ball rolling again. And good run from Duncan Hladek.
Very good run. And James Shaw takes it himself, but he's got nobody around him.
Questionable move from a very important piece of the offense.
And Sam Mace calls his own
nobody around, and he gets it off to Connor. Connor's doing his best. The boys need to slow it down now and reset.
And Sam Mace tosses it back to Brody Roding.
Forwards need to get more depth off those kilos there.
That they do, but they are doing a very good job of breaking the gain line each time, whether it's for like 1 yard or whether it's 2.
They're losing yards here.
They've gained very many yards, and then they've lost it all in one play. Poor communication. And
took way too much time trying to get it going.
That was a very opportunistic play by the Concordia Stingers.
Theo seems to be hurt. He was not looking to be involved in that last play, but when the ball comes towards you.
And as a matter of fact, he was actually on the ground in pain when the ball was rolling back, and he actually had to get up in order to play the ball.
There's another open field try there by, was that their number 10?
I'm not entirely sure.
We're going to have to get a jersey check on that.
Gigi's walking slowly back to the end zone. Is that you can feel the energy just depleted from this team.
I think they're losing focus, you know. They're backed into a corner, and they really need to remember their training.
They do.
That's what the reps are all about, so you can do it out on the field.
Exactly. And as a matter of fact, John, you were right. The try was scored by number 10, Stanislav Blazkowski.
Fantastic.
And the point after, made by number 15, Aiden McMullen.
Let's see if the GGs can come back with a little more cohesion this time.
Expect them to spend a lot of time setting up for this kick, really understanding what needs to be done, who needs to go where, and to have everybody back on the same page. As a matter of fact, Will Redgate is still in the end zone waiting for the ball, which was kicked over the fence and into the tennis courts adjacent to the field.
Suppose we'll expect a regular restart this time.
I would suppose so.
Get a little spirit from the crowd here.
Trying to rally their team that are down late in the second half of a rugby game.
We're looking at 10.5 minutes on the board right now.
Will Redgate with the kick.
Hopefully enough time to close the gap.
A deep kick picked up by number 20 of Concordia and tackled promptly.
Let's go. We're seeing a lot of walking to the line there.
Oh, and another.
Right
oh!
at the feet of his own teammate.
The ball
And
fumbled
he
a little bit
fumbles it
before eventually being picked up by Nat McGinnis.
And he shuts him down.
And James Shaw takes the ball out and promptly
it a
kicks
boot.
it right down the field. It stays in bounds.
Stays
picked up
in.
by Concordia.
We're going to have to see a little more spirit from our defenders there.
So
A lot of walking people out there.
Right, a basketball pass. And they're off to the races. Another kick picked up by Nat McGinnis again.
All right, looks like they've settled down, and there's a whistle by the ref.
And it's a penalty against the
Penalty.
GGs.
And they're quick to restart.
Good tackle by Sam Mace. And the Concordia Stingers are looking to score another try.
There's 5 more points on the board to bring it to 50-10. Possibly 52 after this kick.
The try appeared to be scored by number 13, Thomas Getz. Now, we've talked about what the GGs need to be doing better, but what have the Concordia Stingers been doing really well this game? What can the GGs learn from this game by watching Concordia?
Oh, they're very good at finding space, and they're very good at making space. So I think the GGs need to respond to that by making sure to square up on their tackles and not be. You can't let them run past you. You can't let them get your outside shoulder.
Absolutely.
See a lot of GG's guys run in head on, and it shuts you down immediately. You got to start aiming for that outside shoulder. Better chance of getting down the field.
Concordia, a very disciplined team, and obviously a very successful team, having a lot of success in the RSEQ, specifically last year where they won the RSEQ championship. Now for the GGs, if you want to learn to beat the best, you have to beat the best. And for them, they certainly have a large.
A nice shallow one at 10. Number 16 pulls through. Looks like his headband's ripped off.
And the ball back to number 7.
And a lot of squirming around. Good reset.
And the ball is out of the ruck. Scooped up by number 6 and tossed to number 25 of Concordia.
I will add, Colin, another great thing they're doing is they have offloads. There's lots of support at all times.
Absolutely. Whenever they have a ball carrier running with the ball, there's always somebody in a very close proximity.
And we take it back. Let's set that up.
And that
take it slow.
That's number 2, or number 21, Graham Neal Klein. Sorry, number 22.
Concordia really wants this ball back. They're rucking strong.
They've been rucking strong this whole game. As a matter of fact, the GGs have done. Oh, it's not so much the GGs have done a poor job of recycling the ball.
Get that back in.
Is that Concordia has done an incredibly good job. And the ball is taken out of bounds by number 20, Jack Schwinnard, who the team affectionately calls Chewy. Also another rookie on the team.
Ahmed Adali driven right into the speaker.
So a little extracurricular after the play. You can see Adali had a little bit of offense, or took a little bit of offense to that hit. And rightfully so.
Seeing a lot of James Shaw getting a little squirrely in the breakdown there. He's taken a few too many steps. He needs to get that ball out smoother.
That's right. You can almost tell that the pressure's getting to him a little bit. Usually he's very composed in games like this. But you can tell he's trying to make something happen because I don't think he feels like the offense is.
Well, he's given the opportunity for those big guys to just eat him alive out there. He's setting himself up to get cranked.
That he is. He's trying to make a play by himself rather than just trusting the offense and trusting the system.
Well, when you're a distributor, part of your job is protecting yourself, you know. So then you really got to make yourself alive.
Absolutely. And a fantastic hit out of bounds
They stopped
by
him.
Graham Neil Klein, another rookie on the team from Vancouver.
Arguably, no intention to wrap. We'll see if they call that. Nope, that's exactly what they're going to do. It was a strong hit, but we're not playing football, ladies and gentlemen. You got to get those arms around. So they're taking a penalty deep in their own zone.
Great intensity. Unfortunately, that was poor execution. And just like that, the GGs are back on their own goal line. Less than 5 minutes to play in the game. And there's a scrum Concordia on the 10-yard line.
Concordia looking lined up. Calm and composed. They've been here before.
Getting reset in the scrum. Expect a big push out of the GGs. They do not want any more points scored on them today. And another whistle.
It's blown up.
And they reset for the third time.
Let's see if they can get it off. You can tell it's the end of the game. Some of those butts are getting higher and higher.
Oh, you can see the front row of both teams just bulging up in the middle.
Number 15.
Oh,
taken
fantastic
down.
tackle by
Excellent
number
tackle.
22, Graham.
Textbook.
Ball's passed out.
Yeah, and they're going to try and just spread the GGs thin here. Oh,
Another fantastic
and
tackle
it's
by Graham.
fumbled by the Stingers.
And
And
a
he
good
takes
clear
it
out
up.
by
Coming in from
Sam
the
Mace.
side there.
Unfortunately, it was from the side, and that's going to be against the GGs. You appreciate the intensity, but that was...
We got to make sure the intensity is coming from a good place, you know. You can't have people just doing their best. It's like a dog backed into a corner here. They're trying their best to make something happen, and technique is falling by the wayside.
This is something that the GGs can learn going forward. It's like, once they've experienced this type of adversity in a game, they'll learn how to deal with it. They'll learn how to overcome it. This could be a great learning experience for the GGs, even though perhaps they won't see it like that for another couple days. This is going to be a very bitter loss for the GGs.
It's going to give them a lot to work with early in the season, so hopefully they can come in to the next game with a little bit more knowledge, a little bit more experience.
And just like that, we have another try on the side. And that one was by the wing, number 11, Samuel Montmini. Montmini. Oh, no, it looks like they're reversing the call.
It's called back. We're here at a 5-meter scrum.
5-meter scrum for the GGs.
It took it off. It's good.
All right. And they're set up. And James Shaw puts the ball in. And the ball
And
is
they're
stolen by
driving it
Concordia
through.
again.
They're driving it through.
They just keep pushing.
And he turns it around. They're going to try and reset that. And there's another great offload. right down the middle.
That's right, and that's the outside center, number 13, Thomas Getz again.
Brings us up to 57.
A very unfortunate day for the GGs out here. But on the other side of the coin, the Concordia Stingers they've been playing an amazing game right now. All day they've been just imposing their will on the GGs, and they have a very complete team, and a very cohesive unit.
Yeah, they came out testing the GG's medal, and it seemed like they were holding off for a while, but it's a 2-half game.
Exactly. And with that whistle,
is the ball game.
that will signify the end of the game. So we'd like to thank our listeners at home. And
if you liked what we're doing here, go ahead and tweet at GG's Men's Rugby or follow us on Instagram and say you like the commentators. It's John Dent and Colin Bonzel here. And as usual, GG's forever.
GG's forever. Thank you very much for tuning in. I'm Colin Bonzel. And for John Dent and the rest of the University of Ottawa GG's men's rugby team, we'd like to say thank you, and we'll see you next time. Good afternoon, everyone.